المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم وقال في مقام آخر رجال لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله. My dear respected brothers, elders, in Surah Nur, which we have already recited, it was at least 10 juz ago, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says something which will then correlate to a very prominent theme in the whole juz of the 28th, which we will be reading today. And the ayah is, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts speaking about, Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah speaks about individuals, that Allah's nur is in those individuals. There are such people that everyone around them get enlightened. Nurun ala nur, yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. That not only themselves have this nur, but people around them have this nur. Fi buyutin adin Allah. They're in the masajid of Allah, calling out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making dua, praying salah, doing adhkar. These are these individuals. Now after this, someone may suspect that, now who are these people? Allah talked about their qualities, who they are, what qualities they have, but who are these people? Some people may think it may be ulama, people who are scholars, or people that are in the masjid all day, or people that are, respectful to their parents. What type of person is this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, رِجَالٌ لَا تُلْهِيهِمْ تِجَارَةٌ وَلَا بَيْعٌ عَنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Allah says these people are those individuals that their businesses and their transactions and their normal lifestyle is not prioritized over the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That they do not give more importance to their business than the importance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are those people. And if you look into the 28th para and the 28th juz, there are many surahs. Surah Mumtahina, Surah Saf, Surah Jum'ah, Surah Hashr. In all of these surahs, there is at least one time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about transactions, bay', businesses. Why does Allah speak about it? Why? And all of that is summarized in the ayah in Surah Saf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى تِجَارَةٍ تُنْجِيكُمْ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that compare your deen, make your deen like a business. Now if someone thinks about this, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compare this deen that we have to business? Mufassirun give 3 reasons why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compared deen. He told us to compare deen to business. The first reason why, if you ever go to a mall, I know all of us have been to a mall, and the mall is about to close. Say it closes at 7 o'clock and you go at 6:30. And if you look at all the stores that are, retail stores, like for example, Express or Macy's or JC, whatever it is, their cages are halfway down. It's 6:30. They didn't even close yet. And if you go into the store, the attitude you get from the employees is bad. They want you to leave. Like, come on, I'm trying to get off my job. Or they don't want to help you. If you ask them a question, they give you a bad look or an ugly stare, right? So you get this bad environment going on at this time, 6:30. And the cage is like literally halfway down. You have to bend down to get inside the store. But if you look in that same mall, there's these small stands in the middle. There's these small stands. If you've ever seen them, they sell like phone cases. Or sometimes they sell jewelry. Sometimes they sell headphones. Small little stands. And if you look there, if you go to that place, the guy treats you with so much love. So much love he treats you. Or if for example, it's 7:15, the mall closed at 7, he's still standing there serving people, fixing people's screens, giving them cases. So what's the difference? You realize that in the retail stores, there are workers. They're not owners of those stores. No one really owns Express. No one really owns Macy's. They're just 9 to 5 workers. But the people that are in those stands, they own those stands. Now, ownership makes him treat you better. Now the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, treat your deen as a business, Allah is telling us, treat your deen like you own your deen. This deen is yours. Don't treat your deen like it's a 9 to 5 job. That the only time I'm Muslim is when I'm in the masjid. Or the only time I'm Muslim is The only time I'm Muslim is whenever, someone's looking at me. When I'm alone, I'm not Muslim anymore. Or, I don't follow the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or I don't, I commit sins. The reason why Allah is telling us is because you are a mu'min 24 hours of the day. 24 hours of the day, you are a mu'min. So that is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us an example of a business. He's saying, own your deen. Like that owner who treats you so nice, who goes out of his way to make sure that his items are being sold. That's the first reason. Okay, ownership. And if you look at it in this world, they always give some type of title to people. Like if you realize this guy is the assistant of the assistant manager. Like, what's the reason of calling him the assistant manager? Or this guy over here, he's employee of the month. Or employee of the day, employee of the week. The reason why is because statistically, if someone has some type of title, he works better. If he has an ownership, a title, a name, he works better. He's more efficient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, own your deen. You will be a better Muslim if you think you own your deen. That's number one. Number two, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses business. If you look at any business, Microsoft for example, anyone that works in that place, he may even be a janitor. If another person gets promoted, or if another person succeeds in his project, everyone is happy. Every single person is happy. Why? Because the more these people succeed, the more the business gets better and the more pay they get. Right? No one's going to be jealous of another person. No one's going to be envious of another person and be like, oh, how come he has a better job and he's going to be envious of him? Because if that guy does any less, I could lose my job as a janitor. So the same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to explain to us that us as Muslims, a community, we should never get jealous of another person's job as he has in deen. For example, some person may teach Quran, some person may do the adhan, some person may do khidmah, some person may be doing, giving sadaqah, some person may be someone who helps out in the community. Whoever's doing something, the other person should never get jealous of him, because together the deen is becoming better. Together, deen is becoming better. That is the end goal. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us his example. He's saying that work together. Don't be jealous or envious or hate each other because someone has a better job than the other person. Right? Now that was the second reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the third and the last reason, which is the most fascinating reason, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reason why He says that is because a person who owns something, he's more tolerant. Now how do we know this? If you have ever gone to Pakistan or Bangladesh or overseas, even happens in the airplanes. If you go to a store to buy clothes, now we went to buy clothes when we went to Pakistan recently last year, and I walk into the store and the guy's standing there and I didn't even say a word yet. I just said Assalamu alaikum and I'm looking at the cloth. I'm gonna pick out some cloth to buy, and before I even say anything, he grabs a cloth and throws it, and the whole thing opens, and I'm like, hey, I didn't even say to open that one. And then I look at another one, he grabs that one, opens it, grabs another, opens it. He opens like 15 cloth, all the way. And it's hard to fold those things up. Opens all of them right in front of me. And I'm confused. I'm like, why is this guy doing that? I didn't even ask him for this, right? So then I realized he's trying to get me to buy it. He's trying to get me to buy his cloth. Now I looked at him, he opened 15, I looked at 2, 3, I said, I'll come back. And and even though I said I'll come back, he gave me a smile. He said, please consider and come back to my store. I go to the next store, and I think I'm going to get the same treatment. So I tell the guy, I'm like, show me this one, show me this one, show me this one, show me that one, show me all of these. And the guy looks at me, he's like, brother, if you want to buy one. Stop telling me to buy all of them. And I'm like, oh, I thought, you're going to roll them out for me. He's like, no. If you want to buy. If you don't, leave. Get up. So I was like, okay, what the heck? What's going on here? I thought it was the same guy. I realized that the first guy I went to, he was the owner of that store. And the second guy I went to, he wasn't the owner. He was just a worker. You realize when you own something, you're more tolerant. You have, if a person treats you bad, you let it go. You forgive him. You be nice to him. Same thing with this deen. If you own your deen, whoever bothers you, it's like that person with the cloth. It's okay. Forgive me. But if you consider yourself to be a 9-to-5 Muslim or a 9-to-5 believer, you're going to be always getting into fights, always getting into arguments, always getting into these rebuttals, because you're like that worker. Okay, I'm not gonna. Why have to disturb my peace because you're bothering me? No, the importance of a believer's heart above anyone else. You know? So treat your deen like a business. Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, when he became Khalifa, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu was one of the nicest Sahabis, the softest. He was so soft. Resembled the Prophet ﷺ. But when he became the Khalifa, the people stopped giving zakat. Because they thought they could, you know, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu was really nice, I'm not going to give zakat, I don't want to give zakat. And a lot of people, when the Prophet ﷺ passed away, their iman lowered. You know, the Prophet wasn't in front of them anymore. So they stopped giving zakat. The Prophet said, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu said, that whoever doesn't give zakat on purpose, amadan, I'm going to go to your house and fight you. I'm going to make sure, if you're not giving zakat, you have to leave Islam. So harsh. Why? أَيَنْقُصُ الدِّينُ وَأَنَا حَيٌّ. What did he say? He said that it is impossible if I'm alive and I'm the Khalifa that this deen will become deficient. What does the owner of a business say? That if I'm alive and I'm the owner of this business, there's not going to be a day that we're going to be in deficit. We're going to be profiting every day. Abu Bakr had the same mindset because he followed this ayah. He realized that this deen cannot go down in front of his eyes. And if we act like this, if we bring this importance to our life, then nothing wrong can happen in front of us. Nothing wrong. Our children will be on the right path. Our lives will be straight. Our salah will be getting better. Our Quran will be getting better. Our tilawah, our dhikr, everything will be getting better every day because you realize that you own this deen and you cannot be in deficit the next day. Hussein radhiyallahu, the son of Ali radhiyallahu, he said that if two of your days are exactly the same, for example, today and tomorrow are exactly the same in amal, then you indeed are a loser. He clarified that. He said that if two of your days are the same, then you are a loser. Because every day we progress, we become better. Why am I saying this? What's so important? Because in the month of Ramadan, what happens is people get this type of, not really an addiction, they get this feeling. It's called spiritual highness. And they feel really good. Ramadan, you come to the masjid, Taraweeh, Quran, so much is going on. You feel it inside of you. You feel it inside your heart. And the same thing happens in Umrah. If you go for Umrah and Hajj, same thing happens. Why? And it doesn't matter if the Umrah package costs 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, you're paying for that Umrah package. Why? Because you want that feeling again. That feeling when you're in front of the Kaaba, you're in front of the Masjid of the Prophet, you get this good feeling of spiritualness. You want that feeling, so you pay for it. Let me tell you, my dear respected brothers, that feeling can come from Dhuhr Salah in the same masjid. That feeling can come from one page of Quran in your house. That feeling can come from 30 minutes of dhikr sitting down in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That same feeling, and you don't have to pay $1 for it. How does this happen? It's outside of Ramadan, we take these habits that we built. Coming to the masjid, reading Quran, doing dhikr. We bring these habits and we take them outside of Ramadan. That is the reason. Because what happens is, outside of Ramadan, you're going to go back to your businesses. 9 to 5 is starting. We have to make our money. You know, same thing. Everyone has lives. There's nothing wrong with that. But the reason why I'm saying it is because once you go back there, you have to remember what you felt over here. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us all the fiqh, to give us the ability and the strength to carry on what we have in Ramadan throughout the rest of the year. And to give us the ability to benefit, give us the ability to take from the Quran as much as we can. These gems only come from the Quran. These are nothing that I'm saying from my own thought or my own heart. These are from the Quran itself. Let us all explore deep into this Quran every month of the year, not only in Ramadan. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Jazakallahu khair.